888-933-3139.
General, what do you think about the FBI saying that there was a terror alert on Monday about a potential Fort Hood situation?
The police are shoving people, shoving Alex, shoving the crowd.
Here we go, folks. I'm being assaulted.
Whether it's the radio show, the news websites, documentary films, or the nightly news, InfoWars is the tip of the spear.
Is this another false flag stage attack to take our civil liberties and put more homeland security while sticking their hands down on the pants on the streets?
It's up to us to set brush fires in the minds of men and women everywhere. And that's what PrisonPlanet.tv is designed to do.
You watch, the Assad regime is going to be blamed or accused of using chemical weapons against the so-called rebels.
What we see now is a war against reality. It's a war against the truth.
It's more vital than ever that supporters of freedom become members of PrisonPlanet.tv and share their membership with up to 11 friends and family. Visit InfoWarsNews.com today. Become a member, share your membership, and help take the InfoWar to the next level. This is Alex Jones for InfoWarsLife.com. The latest in preparedness is now here. An electrically stabilized colloidal silver solution that can be added to both your home cabinet and preparedness pack alike. Concentrated to 30 parts per million in what has been dubbed the survival silver solution. The new InfoWars Life Silver Bullet Colloidal Silver is the answer for you and your family. And it's entirely free of toxic artificial additives that are loaded into many products. The InfoWars Life Silver Bullet Silver is so powerful that it is concentrated into a 2-ounce bottle and is not recommended for extended continual use. This is not a low-grade formula. We are working with one of the top laboratory manufacturers in the United States to bring you the best form of colloidal silver using electrical processes within a base of deionized water for your preparedness storage or your home kitchen. Purchase your bottle of InfoWarsLife.com Silver Bullet Colloidal Silver today and find other amazing supplements at InfoWarsLife.com.
Coast to coast, direct from Austin. You're listening to the Alex Jones Broadcasting Network.
Want to stop tyranny? Well, so does he. Live from the Infowars.com studios, it's Alex Jones.
You want to stop mass shootings? Arm the general population. You want to stop hijackings? Arm the pilots. You trust them to fly the airplane, the ultimate flying weapon. You want to have a free society? Empower the general public. You want tyranny? Only allow centralized government to be armed. And you will create a hell like North Korea every single time. All right, we got loaded phone lines. Ian in Santa Barbara, JD in California, Brian in El Paso, Rob in Michigan, Joseph in North Carolina, Bill in Florida, Jesse in Texas, Ronnie in Texas, Jerry in Georgia, Peter in Las Vegas, Robin in Oklahoma, Patricia in Arizona. If you just joined us, Elliot Rodger, the son of one of the Hunger Games directors, a spoiled brat driving what looks like a brand new BMW, was whining that he would make sexual advances on women and that he didn't have any luck. Well, I mean, that's because you're just a sheltered brat sicko who then was in such a sick society that he reportedly, and it looks like he is the shooter. Now, they say alleged, but I mean, there's a bunch of witnesses. The police are basically saying he's the shooter. And it's just disgusting. I mean, and there's more and more of these people. There's less violent crime because so many people are armed, the criminals are scared, but there's statistically more, if you profile it, weirdo, spoiled brat guys that look and act just like this punk, who have rich parents, who are video game heads, and on psychiatric medication. I bet it comes out he's a video game shoot-'em-up head, and on psychotropics. That's the profile. Already the rich kid, syndrome. And I'm not knocking, somebody if you're a rich kid. The point is, the trust fund kids, the phenomenon of the spoiled brats, it's unbelievable. We're putting on screen FBI statistics right now showing a 52% drop in violent crime since '92. Some of the most accurate statistics out there. So I'm not taking the blame for this. I'm going to go back to the rest of his manifesto later and play the end of the sickening tape, but the video's up on Infowars.com. California shooting exploited by SPLC and so-called feminists. Oh, my gosh, you know, a man went and killed women because he hated women. Let's ban guns. No, let's arm women. That's the ultimate empowerment. I have 2 daughters. I couldn't imagine them growing up not knowing how to shoot guns or protect themselves and then moving away from home on college or a job and, you know, having to sit there and wait for some bigger, stronger man to attack them or rape them. No, they know how to use guns, and they're going to have guns, and we're going to keep this country somewhat free, and they're going to have guns to protect themselves. We don't live in fear like most radio stations or networks of shooters coming to our studios, because media is a target. Half the people that work here got concealed carry. I got a gun under the counter right here, underneath my broadcast studio. .357 Magnum. I could have a even more high-powered, high-capacity handgun, but I like the revolver 7-shot .357 because it's a high-powered, basically rifle round, high penetration, high kill rate. I'm extremely accurate with it. I can shoot bullseye at 75 yards with it, and it is not going to malfunction. And it's right here. And I've had one in my studio since I broadcasted from my own studios since 1997. And guess what? It hadn't snuck out and killed anybody. But we're not going to just sit here and get on our knees if somebody comes to our offices with a gun and wants to play games. Somebody's got a gun waving it around. I'm going to get to a knee or get to cover, and I'm going to not even think. I'm going to shoot center of mass until my gun is unloaded. Real simple. Real simple. Because I'm a lover, not a fighter. I'm not starting fights. I don't want to shoot anybody, but I'm going to go home at the end of the day. And you know what? I don't follow close in my car, and I wear my seatbelt because I know every day that's what's dangerous is driving that truck. Statistically, it's a lot more dangerous than people with guns. Hundreds of times more. Honeybees are more dangerous than mass shootings. Look it up. So that's what I'm breaking down here today. But the whole thing is bizarre. And I want to get your take on it. But Elliot Rodgers' parents warned police weeks before mass shooting. Every time, you know, they say he's planning something, nothing can be done. And my issue is, hey, this is the way the world is. There's always going to be bad, crazy people. They got serial killers everywhere. I want to know, though, if you disagree with me, how many leftists do you know that are obsessed with serial killers, murder, death, think it's cute, think it's sexy, have death memorabilia everywhere, and, you know, they're on my website. They're on, on Infowars.com, and the tweets, Drudge picked it up, you know, saying how sexy he is, guys and girls. Boy, they really think he's cool. There's all these women that marry psychopaths, marry murderers, marry serial killers, marry child abusers while they're in prison. I mean, there's a really sick society out there. Now they've just revealed he was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome, a form of autism. He lived in a luxury California home, told you this was coming out, just broke minutes ago, with family and drove a BMW. Grandmother was very disturbed and had mental health issues. Guaranteed he was under psychiatric care. I said that 40-something minutes ago when the show started, 50-something minutes ago. I said it repeatedly this hour. And they're going to seal his medical records. I will bet you any amount of money that he's on multiple serotonin reuptake inhibitors or antipsychotics. Remember a few years ago, there was a guy in a Walmart with no criminal record that people said was walking around like a zombie with a handgun. And the cop goes in to confront him, and the guy shoots him. I mean, I'm not going to tell cops their business, but if I hear there's a guy walking around with a gun, he's not even robbing a Walmart, he's obviously out of his mind. I'm going to not get in the view of this guy. I mean, that's when you, quite frankly, get behind somebody and say, drop your gun or I'm going to shoot, and then just shoot them right in the back the second they don't drop it. Well, he killed that police officer who responded, who was also a veteran. Memorial Day coming up tomorrow. Terrible loss. But the minute I heard it, I said he's going to be on some type of antipsychotic or some kind of, and sure enough, he was on, what was it? It's the sleeping pill that's also makes the troops go crazy. What's it called?
It was on Ambien.
Ambien, yeah. And then it turned out one other deal. I didn't even know who he was. I mean, I'm no rocket scientist, but when somebody with no criminal record is walking around like a zombie and doesn't know who they are, they're on drugs, folks. And I bet you a lot of money this guy was on drugs. Prozac-type drugs put you in a dream state. They're in the hallucinogen family. They're psychotropic. This guy probably thought he was American Psycho. So here I'm calling him all these names and saying he's a terrible person. He is a spoiled brat punk. But, I don't know, let's just go to your calls. I'm going to take a ton of them in the next hour and get to so much other news. It just really makes me want to throw up that as gun owners, we're being blamed. As usual, I'm sick of it. I haven't done anything. And I'm tired of it. Let's go ahead and talk to Ian in Santa Barbara, where this all happened. You're on the air. Thanks for calling.
Hey, Alex.
Yes,
what
sir.
you guys are doing. I appreciate everything. I'm calling in just to give my 2 cents as a citizen in Santa Barbara. Like I did an interview last year with Jakari about, actually, I was committed on a 5150 for somebody, my mom making up some things about me. And it just kind of surprises me this kid wasn't taken away at the very least to...
well, he had rich parents. He had rich parents.
That's basically the conclusion I've reached, is that because I'm poor and I don't have any family, that they just didn't want to touch this kid because he's got a Beamer, and that, you know, if you got a Beamer, then to the cops, that's polite.
No, that's what the cops said. They said he was polite to us.
He's polite because he's rich, you know. That's what I'm getting at, is that to the police, at least here in town locally, I could say, living here, growing up here, that's the attitude of the police. You know, if you've got money, leave them alone. We don't want any problems with lawyers. And if you're
well, you know, statistically, it's true, though, that rich people commit at least less retail ground-level fraud. They commit more white-collar fraud, but the police have learned to profile because, quite frankly, usually it's accurate. Usually a nerd in a BMW is not a threat.
Affluenza
is an issue. No, in this narrow area,
a firearm, you know.
In this very narrow spectrum, this is the profile of these shooters. A chicken-necked, weirdo, goth, devil-type, rich kid, obsessed with death, mad at girls like Harrison Klebold. Maybe that's why I'm so happy. I mean, I'm not bragging. Girls just always love me. I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead. What? I'm sorry.
Ran a red light.
Did what, brother?
Earlier in the day, I was coming back from Home Depot on Friday afternoon, and I saw him running a red light in his Beamer. And I only remember because I thought to myself, you know, who is this who's this little punk think he is running a red light?
Listen, I appreciate your call. We're going to be right back, ladies and gentlemen. We shall return on the other side of this quick break, and I'll try to cycle through more of your calls. JD, Brian, Rob, Joseph, Bill, Jesse, Ronnie, Jerry, Peter, Robin, Patricia, your calls are all coming up straight ahead, and a bunch of other news we haven't gotten to yet. How dare them blame the Second Amendment and the right to self-defense? Your right to self-defense is not a crime, it's a right.
A chemical spill contaminating the water supply in 9 West Virginia counties.
This year alone, over 300,000 people in West Virginia had their drinking water contaminated.
What are the health effects of having these drugs in our drinking water?
It's forced medical treatment without the consent of residents.
My friends, water filtration is one of the most basic actions you can take to protect you and your family from the harmful toxins and heavy metals in your tap water.
On average, the county says it sprays with the glyphosate at least once a week.
Few filters cut out the glyphosate that is found in water supplies worldwide. Remove pesticides, herbicides, chloramines, hydrofluorosilicic acid, sodium hexafluorosilicate.
Fluoride, it is in tea, it's in coffee, it's in water, it's in bread, it's in toothpaste.
It is our responsibility to protect our families. The establishment's not going to do it. It's time to take action. It's time to filter our water. Visit InfoWarsStore.com and use promo code WATER to get 10% off their entire family of incredible products. Or call toll-free 888-253-3139. Hi, folks. Alex Jones here with some important information. I want to tell you about Matt Redhawk and his team of patriots over at My Patriot Supply. Several years ago, Matt was sitting in his 2-bedroom apartment, frustrated with the direction this country was headed and the charlatans willing to sell us out for a quick buck. Deciding to take action, a company run by patriots for patriots was born. My Patriot Supply has never taken a loan or accepted outside funding. They now operate 2 distribution facilities and employ over 50 hardworking American men and women. It is rare to find companies who practice what they preach. And that's why I stock my pantry with high-quality storable foods from My Patriot Supply. Go to mypatriotsupply.com/Alex today for special offers on emergency food storage, or call their preparedness specialist at 866-229-0927. That's 866-229-0927. Do business with someone who shares your values. mypatriotsupply.com/Alex.
Coast to coast. Direct from Austin. You're listening to the Alex Jones Broadcasting Network.